the Tigers gave a really good yelp in the first half, but then Essendon moved away to win it by 33 points. G and Bradley Plain of Essendon.
On the surface, it appeared a fairly comfortable win for Essendon yesterday, but I really was far from impressed by the performance. In the first half, they can thank Tim Watson for his individual efforts alone. He kicked 2 goals, and really the early initiative was taken by the Richmond side. They kicked 2 goals before Essendon went forward, and then it was Tim Watson. Every time they just seemed to be failing a little bit in any area, it was Tim Watson who got them up again. But really, the third quarter told the story. For the 20 minutes, or the first 20 minutes of that term, Richmond were in constant attack, but just were unable to put the score on the board. And I suppose there's a lot of thanks also could go to the back line, where we saw Thompson, who's come back after a serious knee injury and performed very well. Danaher at full-back, Walsh at centre-half forward, Hamilton all repelled those numerous attacks. And then it went up the other end of the ground. Billy Duckworth, who had had a horror first half against Tim Powell, came on and kicked 2 goals with relative ease and really shut the door on any Richmond hopes. And the final term just went in a similar trend. But as I was saying, Essendon really didn't impress me that much. I think a lot of players have got to work harder and not just rely on the old guard of Madden, Danaher, who probably didn't have a big input yesterday as he went off injured, but really a lot of players don't work hard enough.
What about Salmon yesterday?
Well, Salmon's one of those players who was a handy player without really taking over the game, and when you look at his physical attributes, you'd expect he has got the capabilities of doing just that. He spent a fair bit of the time on the ball, which obviously Shooty's trying to turn him into the ruckman he certainly believes he is.
Did he get a run in the back line to
I thought that Lee controlled the rucks for the entire day, actually.
Kelvin, is it a problem for Essendon if Tim Watson last week as well against the Eagles was dominant? He's the one that got them going. If he's negated in some form, who then do they rely on for that drive through the centre? Is Long coming on, or Bradley playing to kick them the goals all the time? That's where I agree. Salmon's let them down a bit. Yes, well, I mean, it was interesting. Yesterday in the second half, Watson was curbed quite a bit by young Bauer, who got the job on him. But it is a problem for them because his individual brilliance alone, Watson, seems to inspire the player. So just, Anderson, those types of players who have got a lot of natural ability have just got to work harder and just tend to sit back in awe and watch Timmy do his act. But getting on to the votes, I gave one to one of the players you mentioned there in Bradley Plain, who is developing into an excellent player, both on the ball and the half-forward line. Timmy Watson, for his first half alone, was best player on the ground until then, but I gave him 2.